One examination in which we are taking questions which are especially from GA section covering PIB, RBI circulars, finance and economic current affairs and government schemes, which will help you to clear phase 1 exam much more easier. Now let's start our part 6. This is our part 6, guys. If you know, we have covered part 5 already, and we are taking the questions which are really of great quality, as you have seen in previous sessions. But more important of all, here we are trying to solve the questions and look at the quality of the questions so that we are well prepared for the real RBI Grade B exam. So let's start our first question today. Consider following statements regarding the scheme from Government of India. So just a minute. Yes. So a scheme related question is asked. Miss Ramya, a woman entrepreneur, age 19, requires a loan from the bank to set up a new business unit in hospitality sector. Rakesh, a male entrepreneur from economically weaker section, age 45, requires a loan of 5 lakh rupees to set a new hotel business. Miss Akanksha, age 27, requires a loan of 2 crore rupees to set a greenfield enterprise. Which of the following statements are which these 3 statements, when we are talking about 3 people are there, Ramya, Rakesh and Akanksha. So who is eligible for the loan under Stand Up India scheme? So you should know all the pointers, you should know all the persons, all the factors, all the important do's and don'ts, so that you will get loan under Stand Up India scheme. What is eligibility and which sectors are not eligible, which age is eligible, what about the categories, what about the sector in which you are trying to start an enterprise. So based on that you have to give the answer. The options are 1 only, 2, 3 only, 3 only, 2 only, and all of the above are eligible. Try to give the answers along with me. Okay. So here when you are talking about, as I told you, you should be knowing complete eligibility criteria for Stand Up India scheme. Very beautifully crafted question and little bit innovative too. So therefore you can try to give the answer here, and nobody is going to say that why the answer was wrong, or everybody has a reasoning to give the answer. The thing which we can do is that practice more and more, so that your skills of your analytical skills are sharpened every day. Okay, mention in the comment section and in the chat what is the answer here. So 1 only is your correct answer, that is Mrs. Ramya is eligible, Rakesh and Akanksha are not eligible. Let's try to look at the answer. So this is a scheme by Ministry of Finance to finance ST or women entrepreneurs by facilitating bank loans for setting up greenfield project enterprises in manufacturing, services, trading sector and activities allied in agriculture sector. The objective of this scheme is to facilitate bank loans between 10 lakh and 1 crore rupees. Hence 3 is incorrect, because 3 was talking related to 2 crore rupees. That's why the third statement is eliminated. This should be given to at least 1 scheduled caste or scheduled tribe borrower, at least a woman borrower per bank in greenfield enterprises. If the applicant is male, he must be from either SC or ST background. That is why second statement is wrong. And why second statement is wrong? Because our second guy who was a male, he was from OBC category. तो वो तो भाई eliminate हो गया. And the age of the applicant must be at least 18 years. So 18 years के नीचे नहीं होना चाहिए. So that is why if you look at your first statement when we are talking about, so she is 18 years old, she requires loan to set up a new business in the hospitality sector. So that's why first one, only Ramya is eligible. Okay guys. So one important announcement by solving first question. Let us now discuss about the important announcement. As you know that less than 20 to 15 days only are left for your RBI Grade B phase 1 examination, especially for all the students who are dedicatedly preparing for phase 1. I hope that your quant reasoning English practice is going on well. क्यूआरई में कैसे है, आप कितने भी शॉर्टकट सीख लो, आप कितना भी प्रैक्टिस कर लो, डेफिनेटली आप जितने ज्यादा मॉक टेस्ट सॉल्व करोगे, जितने ज्यादा प्रैक्टिस करोगे, डेफिनेटली यू कैन क्लियर द सेक्शनल कट ऑफ्स. टू क्लियर सेक्शनल कट ऑफ एंड ओवरऑल कट ऑफ, द बिगेस्ट power which you are having or the most advantageous section in your phase 1 examination is GA. and that is why for GA you have to prepare really very well. Therefore, we have brought one of the most important master class which has been brought not only by a person who has cleared RBI Grade B exam, but also one of the most difficult exams, that is UPSC Civil Services. So, we will have our speaker Sameer Goel sir, who is RBI Grade B rank 12 and UPSC CSE rank 222. He will be taking your webinar especially to score 55 plus in GA section in RBI Grade B 2024 phase 1 exam. The agenda of the webinar is why GA becomes so important. Then we'll be talking about what are the most unmissable topics in GA, what are the tested strategies which toppers follow and what even sir followed to clear GA and get maximum marks, what should be your upcoming timetable and schedule for 20 days so that you can revise GA very properly. 6 to 8 months current affairs, you can actually drink it up and you can definitely recall it in the examination and you can give your best shot. And last would be the most important of all, that is question and answer session. We'll take questions of all the students, any doubts. Therefore, do not miss this particular masterclass or webinar. Please, I'm telling you, for all the students, it's a great opportunity. Webinar, it's completely free. This masterclass is completely free. Registrations has been already started. Go on the website as well as in this particular video's description box, as well as in comment section. I will pin the link to register for this webinar. Okay, so register now. The webinar is on Sunday, 18th of August 2024 at 11 a.m. sharp. So it's at 11 o'clock in the morning. ठीक है, 11 बजे है 18 तारीख को, this Sunday. Sameer Goel sir is coming, who is RBI Grade B rank 12, UPSC rank 222. Best one of the master classes which we are bringing for you for just phase 1 examination to score 55 plus in GA. Very important webinar, don't miss it. Next, as I told you, our batch, GA MCQ batch, in which in 40 lectures we are going to cover 2000 MCQs, has been started today. आज से lecture start हो चुके हैं. Mind you, here 2000 MCQs will be covered, 1000 for ESI current affairs, PIB government schemes, RBI circular, 600 for general awareness and 500 plus for banking and finance current affairs. Okay, expected questions also will be taken in this particular batch. Here, go on the website. This course, if you go on the website in regulatory sections, ये course आपको सारे RBI के courses के बीच में आपको दिखाई देगा. It is there available on our platform. Okay, just go and fetch GA MCQ batch. It is available on the website. Second thing is that, as you all know, for your proper revision for RBI Grade B exam, we have brought one of the biggest thing which can help you, biggest resource which can help you for your revision. If you go on Oliveboard website and if you go in the test sections, तो test sections के ऊपर ही रेड कलर में आपको revision PDF pack for regulatory exams मिलेगा. Here you are getting 3 magazines, each for PIB, government schemes and current affairs. Each magazine is covering the current affairs, PIB and government schemes from month of January 2024 to August 2024. Almost 8 months of current affairs is covered. So if you don't have notes, if you're doing self study, कोर्स किया है लेकिन सर मेरे पास नोट्स नहीं है करंट अफेयर्स के, सर यूट्यूब पे पूरा मैंने पढ़ा, आई लर्नड ऑन यूट्यूब करंट अफेयर्स बट आई डोंट हैव नोट्स, सर हाउ टू रिवाइज इन दिस 20 days? Definitely one stop solution. If you look at this particular the revision pack, it's only for 999. Go have these 3 magazines and cover your current affairs in one shot. When I talk about MCQ batch, it is just for when 50% off already is going on because of Independence Day. Definitely take a chance. GMCQ batch is available only at 1200 rupees. It's a great opportunity, so make sure you go through all of them. Question number 2, the legal framework for administration of foreign exchange transactions in India is provided by FEMA. It's an act. I hope you know, Foreign Exchange Management Act. In context of foreign exchange transactions in India, which of the following statements are correct regarding liberalized remittance scheme introduced by Reserve Bank? The liberalized remittance scheme, which was introduced in the year of 2004 with a limit of $25,000, remittances for purchase of foreign currency convertible bonds issued by Indian companies in overseas secondary market can be made under above scheme. Once remittance is made for an amount up to US $250,000 during financial year a resident individual would be eligible to make further remittances under such scheme only after proceeds of investment have been brought back into the country. So options are 1 2, 2 3, 1 3, 1 and 2. So go through all the statements. What are they asking exactly? First, which is the correct statement, and which is correct statement related to one scheme, which is liberalized remittance scheme. Okay, three statements are given to you. First statement talks about limit and the year. Second statement talks about that purchase of foreign currency convertible bonds issued by Indian companies, okay, in overseas market can be made under the scheme. Okay, in secondary market, convertible bonds which are issued can be made under the scheme. And third statement talks about the amount, okay, which resident individual would be eligible to make further remittance under the scheme. Three statements, try to answer this. See, your reading speed should be really very fast in context of phase 1 examination GA. It may be for quant, reasoning, English as well as GA particularly. So when I'm talking about reading speed, what is the strategy which you can use? The strategy best possible to use is speed reading or reading between the lines. Speed reading is nothing but if I provide you a passage, rather than reading passage word by word, just you go through the lines, pick out the important keywords, pick out the important terms, and then try to understand. So if I was reading this question, first the question is related to liberalized remittance scheme and FEMA. The words which I have underlined, that much only I am looking at. Then even in the options which is given, only words, introduction, here purchase and here. So half of statements also when you read, our brain is that advanced कि हमें पता लग जाता है कि already statement क्या कहना चाह रही है. The answer here guys is your one only. It's one only or option number 4. So second is wrong and even third is wrong. Okay. Now let us see why second is wrong, why third is also wrong. That is correct, right? So only one is correct. Let us see what was wrong with the scheme. The scheme was introduced in 2004 only and the limit was 25,000. So 25,000 was the limit and it was introduced in 2004. Is it correct? So first statement is correct. Now what related to second statement was wrong? Let us try to look at that too. So remitter being a minor, LRS declaration must be countersigned by minor's natural guardian. The scheme is not available to corporates, partnership firms, HUFs, that is Hindu undivided families, and trust. Are we clear here? Once a remittance is made for an amount of rupees 2,50,000 during financial year, a resident individual would not be eligible to make further remittance. And here the third statement is talking about if he does, okay, one remittance is made up to 2,50,000, the resident would be eligible to make further remittances. But the answer is that he will not be. So the breach is 2,50,000. If 2,50,000 amount up to that remittance is done, then further remittances he cannot do under this scheme. Okay. And the second statement was wrong because here when we are talking about remittances here, okay, so here it has been directly written that corporates, partnership firms and HUFs and trusts, they are not available in this scheme. That is why second statement is wrong. So what is the weightage of report for NABARD phase 1? See again, when we are trying to understand RBI don't bring for both RBI and NABARD, okay, reports are very important. You can consider in phase 1 3 to 4 questions. In RBI specifically 3 questions, up to 3 questions can come. In NABARD 3 to 4 questions can come. And when we are talking about RBI, just stick to RBI. So here you could see remittances for the purchases of FCCBs, okay, issued by Indian companies in overseas secondary market. Okay, so in this way you are. So remittance facility is not available for the following, and remittances for FCCB, that was the second option. So remittances for foreign currency convertible bonds, that is FCCBs, which is issued by Indian companies in overseas secondary market, can be made under the above scheme. But here you could see remittances under following will not be, okay, included in the LBS scheme. What are these? First, remittances for any specifically prohibited schedule like Schedule 1, such as lotteries, prescribed magazines, etc., as well as which are under Schedule 2nd of your foreign exchange management rules, that is current account transactions. Then margins or margin calls to overseas exchanges or overseas counterparties, no, they are not included in your scheme. And last is remittances for trading in foreign exchange abroad, that is also not under the scheme. And FCCBs which are issued by Indian companies, that is also not included only. In December 2023, Financial Stability Board released an annual publication, Global Monitoring Report on Non-Bank Financial Intermediation. It has noted that globally, size of non-bank financial intermediation sector has decreased by a percentage in 2022, which is the first notable decrease since 2009. The report notes that the Indian accounts for B, largest share of economic function EF2, okay, entities, assets like entity undertaking lending activities which are akin to NBFCs in India. Individual country level, India has highest contribution coming from the lending entities in its total financial assets of NBFI sector. As per the report above, which of the options can replace A and B? So A talks related to percentage and B talks related to overall share. Okay, that is share in the sense second largest, first largest. So options are given here: 3% third largest, 10% fifth largest, 7% second largest, 4% seventh largest, and 9% fourth largest. Answer, guys? The question is very complex as well as paragraph based. What we are concerned with, not the excessive information which is there in the question. Just stick to the A and B. It has been noted globally, size of non-bank financial intermediation NBFI sector decreased -% in 2022, which is the first notable decrease since 2009. What was that decrease in percentage? And report also notes that India accounts largest share in the economic function 2 entities assets which are in entities undertaking lending activities akin to NBFI sector. Answer here is very simple, guys. It is 3% and third largest. Okay, let us read about it. So other things you can definitely read, but most important of all is the report notes that India accounts for third largest share of economic function 2, that is entities which are under lending activities akin in the sector of NBFCs or NBFI. Okay, then when we are talking related to how much percentage decrease has happened, so this is the line. So NBFI sector since 2009, in the year of 2022, if you compare, it has been decreased by 3%. So overall, this was the A, and third largest is your B. So this is your answer. Okay. One more important fact is there. This EF2, that is economic function 2 entities which were in lending activities for NBFCs, have exhibited growth of around 10%, which is highest among all the 5 categories of NBFI sector monitored by Financial Stability Board. Okay. So extra information also I am giving you. Next question. Reserve Bank has announced several measures in the recent past to foster great transparency, disclosure, etc., etc. Don't read those things. One such measure is requirement for lenders providing their borrowers a key fact statement, KFS, containing key information regarding loan agreement, all cost loan. Okay, easy to understand format. Recently, Reserve Bank of India has decided to mandate all the regulated entities and provide key fact statements to the borrowers of certain types loans. Currently, regulated entities are required to provide key fact statements to which of the following types of loan. Simple. Key fact statement क्या है? आपके लोन के रिलेटेड जो ओवरऑल एग्रीमेंट है उसके रिलेटेड जो इंफॉर्मेशन देता है, ओके, दैट इज दैट डॉक्यूमेंट, की इंफॉर्मेशन रिलेटेड टू योर लोन, दैट इज योर की फैक्ट स्टेटमेंट. किस किस लोन के लिए की फैक्ट स्टेटमेंट की जरूरत है? दैट क्वेश्चन हैज बीन आस्क्ड. सिंपल. बोरोवर्स ऑफ ऑल द रिटेल लोन्स, माइक्रो, स्मॉल एंड मीडियम एंटरप्राइजेस लोन एंड माइक्रो फाइनेंस लोन. 3 and options have been given there: 1 2 2 3 1 3 2 and all of the above. When you are giving the answer, note the question and then give the answer in front of that. See, if you are a student who wants to solve more and more such quality oriented MCQ sessions, join our GA MCQ batch, because here in this YouTube we never know when we end these sessions. Okay, but in this GA MCQ batch, this is our promise that before phase 1 examination, It's our guarantee we will make 2000 MCQs for all of you before your phase 1 exam. And that also not in many lectures, but in 30 to 40 lectures, we will finish all your 2000 MCQs. Go on the Oliveboard website, check out the course and get yourself enrolled. Answer here is very simple. It is all of the above, guys. So if you see retail sector, MSME sector and microfinance sector, all three are important, and they, if you see, all fall that the requirement of KFS. Okay, so KFS is specifically mandated with respect to loans by scheduled commercial banks to individual borrowers, digital lending by REs and microfinance loans. Okay, so with this, I think this is more than enough. Other things you can read later. Recently, February 2024, Reserve Bank has released the results of January 2024 round of its bi-monthly inflation expectation survey of household, IESH. The survey was conducted during January 2 to 11, 2024 in 19 major cities with responses from 6062 urban households as per above survey. Which of the following statements are correct? As per the survey, highest share of respondents foresees a fall in inflation in near term. Household expectations of overall prices are generally aligned to their expectations on pricing of cost of services, food and non-food items. Household current inflation perception has been declined from the previous survey round. 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 3, all and 3 only. For all those people who are looking for revision magazines, and if you are unable to get it, guys, I will tell you, just go on Oliveboard website, go in the test sections. Once you go in test sections, you can go in RBI section. In RBI section, you will find test, and above that only in red color, the magazines have been provided to you. Okay, you can download those magazines also. One thing I forgot to tell you, magazines are downloadable. Only 3 magazines. Last 8 months current affairs completely covered. All GA covered. Revision के लिए best source है वो. The current affairs magazine has been prepared by Pooja ma'am. Your government schemes magazine has been prepared by Lakshmi ma'am. And the overall your PIB magazines have been again prepared by Lakshmi ma'am as well as Mavish ma'am. The answer here is 2 and 3 only. The first one is wrong. Let us try to see why the first one is wrong here. So the results of January 2024 round of its bi-monthly inflation expectations of survey of household, that is IESH, the survey conducted during January 2012 to 2024 in 19 major cities, and responses of 6062 urban households were taken. Okay, female respondents accounted for 52.3% of this sample. Okay, so when you are looking at the highlights of these this particular report or survey, households current inflation perception declined by 10 basis point BPS from previous survey, which was almost 8.1% in January. The share of respondents foresees a rise in inflation in near term, and the option was saying in fall in inflation. So that is why when you are reading the reports, you should not only mug up the facts, you should also know the concepts. If I am reading the survey of IESH by RBI, then definitely I should know that higher share of respondents, that means those people who responded to this survey, do they feel that there is fall in inflation or increase in inflation? Even if you are watching news channels, you will see many of the interviews where people feel that inflation is there in the country right now. So therefore, the first statement was definitely wrong. Rest statements all were correct. More importantly, this one statement is important, that household expectations over overall prices were generally aligned to the expectation of prices of cost of service, food and non-food items. The first one point is also very important, that overall जो आपका inflation perception है वो 10 BPS point से reduce हुआ, and it was 8.1% in January. ठीक है? Next question. Recently, government of Madhya Pradesh has notified formation of 2 new districts, Pandurna and Maihar. According to Reserve Bank of India has decided to designate the lead banks of new district with reference to lead bank scheme. Which of the following statements are not correct? Now this question is completely related to lead bank scheme. It was introduced by Reserve Bank of India in 1969 December, lead bank scheme. The scheme aims in coordinating activities of bank and other development agencies through various fora in order to achieve objective of enhancing flow of banking finance in priority sector and other sectors. I think second statement makes a lot of sense here. It should be correct. They have asked which is not correct. Again, this is very, very important. So first check out which statement is wrong, which statement is correct. Under the above scheme, only public banks are involved in the preparation as well as implementation of district credit plan. I feel that this should be wrong. So the answer is very simple, 3 only. The first is also correct and second is also correct. आपकी lead banks जो scheme है, it was introduced in December 1969. One more important and generic thing, if you see, yes, it is for increasing the credit, overall credit flow or financing. And third important thing when we are talking about, see, it is not just restricted to your public banks. Okay, so here statements only public sector banks. No, it's not the case. All of the banks can be taken into the lead bank scheme. Okay. Next question. So role of private sector banks is also there in your lead bank scheme. According to Reserve Bank of India's Financial Stability Report 2023, which of the following statements, again they'll be asking, accurately describe the key challenges and status of Indian banking sector. So which statement exactly tells you what is the condition of Indian banking sector? Report highlights concern about sustainability of credit growth, particularly in context of asset quality deterioration and capital adequacy constraints. ये थोड़ा सा Basel III norms के related है, ठीक है? Next, and NPH के related. It emphasizes need of banks to enhance their risk management practices given the evolving nature of risk in financial sector. Third, report suggests that digital transformation of banking sector has been successful, improving efficiency and customer experience. All three are generic statements. You just have to find out that when we are talking about financial stability report, which exactly tells you the picture of banking sector in India. The answer here is all the statements are correct. As I even gave a hint that all the statements are generic and should be correct. So first is stability to credit growth, then enhancing risk management practices, and third is digital transformation. These 3 points and all the 3 statements were based on these 3 points only. Pravasi Bharatiya Divas is also known as Non-Resident Indian Day. It is celebrated on 9 January for the contributions of achievements of overseas Indian community for development of India. The day also commemorates Mahatma Gandhi's the greatest Pravasi from South Africa. He came to India in 1915, who led Indian freedom struggle and changed the lives of Indians. Pravasi Bharatiya Divas was first time celebrated in which of the following year? 2001, 1997, 2003, 2009, 2015. Come on, guys. See, 2001 is wrong actually. First time it was celebrated in 2003. Remember this, very, very important. So Pravasi Bharatiya Divas was first time celebrated in 2003. Rest of the things are correct. And which is the date? January 9 is your Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. The objective of Shreshta scheme, okay, they'll give you blah, blah, blah related to Shreshta. Leave all of this blah, blah, blah. As per the above scheme, which of the following statements are not correct? Simple. The scheme provides environment for socio-economic upliftment of overall development of SCs by providing financial assistance based residential school by CBSE state board to 11th, 12th, completion of education till 12th standard. So first statement talks about socio-economic upliftment. Then the keyword is SC, affiliated by CBSE and state board. 11th, 12th standard completion education till 12th standard. First statement done. Second, provision of bridge course in the scheme to ensure SC students are admitted and can catch up with the rest of the class. Simple. Bridge courses so that if someone dropout is there, he can easily put into the next class. Second statement. Third, financial assistance to be provided to NGOs, voluntary organizations for running residential and non-residential schools and hostel to have adequate infrastructure and maintain good academic qualities for SC student. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, all of the above are correct. They are asking you to find which of the following statement is not correct. So we have to find out which is not correct. If all are correct, find the answer to this question. Anybody? What is the answer here? Many of the students were giving all are correct, but that is why I tell always you have to be aware and your overall concentration in exam should be high. All is not the answer here, one only will be the answer. Let us see why. The first statement is correct here. It is related to socio-economic upliftment of SCs till 12th standard. Let us see why second statement is wrong now. So overall, it's to enhance the reach of development intervention, okay, blah blah blah, okay. So the scheme aims to provide socio-economic upliftment. Here if you see, in class 9th, 11th for completion of 12th standard. So first statement when we are talking about which are not correct was asked, sorry, so first statement is wrong, second is correct and third is correct, okay. So first statement when you are talking about, here was the change which the examiner did. What was the change? Here 9th and 10th should be there, right? So therefore here try to understand what is the overall statement. Socio-economic upliftment should be there of scheduled caste students, providing them financial assistance and affiliation by CBSE and state board to complete their 11th and 9th standard. 9th standard complete कर लो, फिर 10 दे दो, 11th standard complete कर लो और फिर 12th दे दो, so that आपका complete 12th standard तक education हो सके. Rest two statements when I was talking about, पहला तो first is talking related to your bridge courses, second is correct. Third is talking related to NGOs और voluntary organizations को बोलो कि infrastructure develop करे ताकि residential schools की facility हम provide कर सके. Third is also correct. Your first was wrong just because ये replaced word 11th 12th जो था उसको replace किया 9th और 11th से. Okay? So this was examiner purposely replaced 9th and 11th by 11th 12th. No, all cannot be the answer here. Okay, statement देख के ही पता लग गया होगा. Last question. Fiscal capacity is the total revenue that a government can realistically raise from the available tax, non-tax base, which determines ability to provide essential public goods, etc., etc. सीधा point पे आओ. As per recently released report on state finances by Reserve Bank of India, which of the following statements are correct? So simple. Recent report was there related to state finances by Reserve Bank of India. Let us see what are the statements. For the states, primary sources of budgetary resources are own tax revenues, own non-tax revenues, tax devolution and grants from the center. Okay. Currently, the state finances only 30% of their revenues expenditure from their own revenue sources. As per the report, states with relatively higher share of agriculture in gross state domestic product tend to have higher fiscal capacity. Three statements. Which of the following statements are correct? They are asking. So it's very simple. The answer here when we are trying to tell, yes, Yogesh, you are giving what? 1 and 2. No, you were partially you were very close to answer. 1 and 2 is not the answer. Read it very properly. 1 is the correct answer, I guess. Yes, 1 is the correct answer. So for the states, primary sources of budgetary and resources are own tax revenue, which is correct. Tax revenue से सबसे ज़्यादा revenue आता है. Own non-tax revenue, tax devolution and grants from the center. पता चली बात? Second statement is wrong. Third statement is also wrong. Let us see why. So, as you know, here, these are all the statements given. Your first statement is correct. Primary sources of budgetary resources are own tax revenue, own non-tax, tax devolution and grants. State finances only 58% of their revenue expenditure from their own revenue sources. यहाँ पर दिया गया था 30%, which is again wordplay of the data or digits. Second thing is that states with relatively higher share of agricultural gross domestic product tend to have lower fiscal capacity. So ये तो logical है. They don't have higher fiscal capacity. Why higher fiscal capacity is there? Is not there? It is because जिन states के higher share agriculture से आते हैं in gross state domestic product, definitely इससे ज़्यादा taxation मिलता नहीं है उनको, इससे वो revenue collect नहीं कर पाते agriculture जहाँ पर जिस भी state से आ रहा है, and that is why fiscal capacity भी उस state की ज़्यादा नहीं होती. वो थोड़ा सा एक logic है. ठीक है? So this is your answer. First was correct, rest two were wrong. So with this we will end our session here. Again, let me just make you remember for all the students who are joined up till now. The one important thing is that on this Sunday, 18th of August, we are having a masterclass by All India Rank 12 RBI Grade B topper and UPSC CSE 222 topper Samir Goel sir. The title of the masterclass is Scoring 55 Plus in GA for RBI Grade B 2024 Phase 1 exam. Don't miss this masterclass. The GA MCQ batch, which all the students have responded immensely, they have also mentioned, and I will come with the testimonials related to this batch. In 30 to 40 lectures, we are covering 2000 MCQs. Don't miss this batch. And for all the students who are unable to revise, revision pack 3 magazines are already on our website as well as on our app. Go and check them out. Get these courses as well as join the webinar on the 18th of August, Sunday.